So I guess to piggyback off that last video, talking about how I was triggered, my anxiety was triggered because I was running late and how I noticed it in my body. So I didn't really go into like the physical symptoms and like the somatic responses that I got when I noticed that I was running late. But it's usually like the tightness in my chest, and I'm smiling because I'm thinking about how irrational I was. I was thinking, we're going to be late. They're going to cancel us. This is not the first time that I've had to cancel last minute. They're going to drop her as a patient. And then she's not going to get speech therapy and she's never going to talk. Like that's how drastic and how quickly like my brain just went downhill, all because I was running late. So I try to mitigate that response by, planning and, making sure I have enough time, but life with a toddler doesn't always allow you to do that. So I noticed that that wall closing in sensation, my chest was getting tight, and I was starting to have like these irrational thoughts, and I noticed, and I was like, oh, anxiety's being triggered. Let's take a second. Take a couple deep breaths, and literally had to tell myself, you're safe. Nothing's going to happen if you're a few minutes late. There's plenty of speech therapists out there. If that does happen, the worst case scenario happens. But, she's been a patient of them for several months, almost a year now. So it's not going to be the end of the world if you're a few minutes late. Calm down, make sure that you're safe, and make sure that your daughter's safe. And that way you can be in a clear state of mind when you get in the car and start driving. You don't want to be at that elevated like anxiety, where your higher level thinking is shut down and, you can't drive safely. So those are some of the somatic responses that happen and that I've noticed to listen to myself, like, bells and whistles are going off. My amygdala is going off and letting me and warning me that if I don't take over and say, you're safe, everything's going to be fine, that it's going to just go, straight downhill, and it's going to go straight into like the full-blown fight or flight anxiety attack. So hopefully that helps clear up some things, and maybe you can start listening to your own body and see what happens, when you start to get anxious or start, that fight or flight anxiety, somatic responses start to trigger. And the craziest thing is I wasn't even late. Like I was going through all this unnecessary, stress on my body, and I wasn't late. We weren't late. Everybody got there safe.